Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. Brothers, if you are dealing with a woman who tells you either via text format on a profile or verbally that she wants to be objectified, this is something you need to watch out for. Okay? If a woman wants to be degraded to the status of an object, she is psychologically unsafe to have around you. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that if you objectify a woman, this is not the religious path you should take. Allah wants you to be just, to be kind to your wives, to have the proper harmonic balance. And if you objectify a woman, you have taken her from the status of a human being to an object, because a human being isn't an object. Human beings play with objects. So if a woman is telling you to turn her into an object because it's her sexual fetish, she is telling you to do something that is not Islamic. Because Islam, from my understanding, does not tell you to look at your wife as a mere object. Objects do not have rights. Objects are not important because objects can go in the trash, get passed around, and an object should have no control over your consciousness because it is a mere object. And when a woman so openly asks for something like that, and she's pretending to be a Muslim, she has no iman, she's probably a shaitan, she's probably even a witch. So you should avoid her because she's asking you to do something that would unlock a piece of your soul that is not going to be pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Treat your woman with honor and grace. You should not objectify her to the mere status of an object. If a woman tells you, I want to be degraded and I like that as a kink, let me tell you something. You are not the only man she has told this to. If she tells you this before you even had a cup of coffee with her, if this is a text via format, she probably has STDs. She probably has one of the worst fathers. Maybe she was molested by her own dad. No woman who is sane and isn't a prostitute, isn't a scammer, would talk like that. Even with the proper escorts, they may list out what you're allowed to do for a certain price. But if you abuse her, her pimp is going to come calling, right? He's going to be like, you can't damage my property. And some women who are, to me they're all trashy, but the ones who carry themselves as classy, the ones who sleep with politicians and high status men in terms of finance, they have a very smooth way of talking to where you wouldn't exactly know they were an escort because they keep it very private. They're more of a high class one versus a, to me they're all trashy like I said, but there are more trashy hoochie mamas who are on the street corner, on Tinder, on Instagram, you name it. They don't have the finesse. They're more crass. They're more vulgar. And the more vulgar you get of a woman, the more dangerous it is for you. Now, if a woman tells you to slap and be abusive, she's conflating something there that is very dangerous for you, that could put you in jail. If she's telling you to be abusive, you have left the arena of what is legal in secular law, and Islam does not tell you to hit the face. Okay? You cannot beat your wife in the terms of going nuts. Okay? If your wife has been disobedient, we have steps, but that's for a legitimate thing. If a woman is telling you to slap and be abusive, she's conflating mere play with actual abuse, which means she has watched material that has made her think this is okay, and People say all the time, you shouldn't kink shame, you shouldn't kink shame. But I want you to notice a dangerous red flag. She has asked you to reduce her to an object. She has said she wants to be degraded. When you degrade someone, that means they have no honor. Why would you want to touch someone who likes thinking they have no honor? A woman of class, a woman who is healthy spiritually, can do just as fine with you in the bedroom. And these dirty girls, they can bring you more trouble than good. If she likes being degraded, that includes being peed on, horrible things, spit on, called vulgar names. Is that something healthy for you to do to women? Does that help your relationship to be romantic, chivalrous, gentlemanly, to bond you to this woman? Or are you living out a haram porn fetish that you got from my satanic website? Now, remember, the occultists, those women, they use these very, very strong, highly perverted, highly violent, masochistic, sadistic forms of intimacy. And they unlock different parts of your brain that change your piousness and can make you a dangerous individual around children, around women, and make you so perverted that you actually have to get therapy to go back down again and repent to Allah sincerely. A sorceress, someone who is wearing the hijab or the niqab as a costume, a lure to get you into the satanic arts, will lure you with lust, because lust is the power of the Satanists. It's not the power of a Muslim woman. The Muslim woman is chosen for her beauty, her wealth, and her piousness. A pious woman has strong, cold facts about, if you want to have romanticism in your relationship, here's X, Y, and Z. If you need more details, keep it private. Okay? There's basic things you can tell people to improve their marriage. And then there's a point where you've gone beyond the means, and now you've produced erotic fetish material, and now you're sinning. Okay? So if someone's telling you to abuse them in bed, that's a legal liability. Any man who introduces you to a woman who says, abuse me, is trying to get you in jail. He's trying to get you in jail. Those women can flip the script on you so fast, you'll be in handcuffs before you know it, and if you leave a mark on her and she knows how to cry, you're off to jail. You're off to jail, buddy. Okay? Beware of those who put you in a honey trap. Beware. Now, if someone says, I don't care if your all strings wife knows about me or not. Does a woman who deserves to be in your life speak in such a way? Secret marriages, do they cause divorces or do they help marriages? If a woman has honor, she wants to know of your first wife. In fact, she demands that you tell your first wife that she exists. A mistress is somebody who doesn't care because she has no honor. She's only in it for the toys and the jewelry and the whatnot. But a no strings attached woman who says, I don't care about your wife. One, she's disrespected your wife. Number two, if she doesn't have any dignity to respect your wife in your first marriage, why are you talking to such a low-class woman? What kind of guy who fears Allah would introduce you to a woman who will upset your first wife? Why is that good? A first wife who loves Allah, who loves her family, would be petrified of a second, third, or fourth wife who says, I don't care about if you know me or not. That's a hoochie mama. And the mother bear, the tigress energy, is going to come out full throttle. And a good first wife is going to put them hands up. She's going to put them hands up and say, you're a predator, you're a sleazeball, get away from my husband. And if husband doesn't listen, he's going to lose his children. And what is going to be his prize? A chick who's so vulgar that she's worth as much as a hot steaming pile of dog doo-doo on a summer day on the sidewalk. You don't exchange what is less. You don't lose your good first wife for a second one who says that she doesn't care about how your first wife feels. That shows you the attitude. Watch out for the attitude. If she has hatred, malice, and nastiness towards your first wife, is that going to bring peace and harmony to your life? Or is this going to be a troublemaker? Is this going to be a chick who one day she likes the gravy, tomorrow she's calling the cops on you? If she brings you an STD? What kind of woman wants to be kept a secret? Because Allah knows what you do. Allah knows what you do. Nothing escapes His vision. And if you hurt your wife in such a way like that, you're not bringing anything honorable into your life. A good second, third, fourth wife wants to be known to everybody. Because there's no shame in being the second, third, or fourth wife. A woman who hides usually is of so low value that she must be hidden. Why do you want someone who must be hidden? Get someone you can be proud of. Not someone who you have to stuff away because she's just a disgusting bag of nonsense. And if she says, I don't need a mad wifey at my door. Huh. That's a little gangster attitude. You want to be a little gangster, huh? Let me tell you something. A woman who acknowledges that a wife might show up to her door, she has experience with that. Or she's heard other women who've done it. If a wife comes to your door and finds out you secretly married her husband, and she pistol whips you, puts a cap in you, and more other things, and you don't care, well, guess what, honey? You're going to have some problems. You're going to have some problems. Let me ask you something, brothers. If your wife finds out where this woman lives, puts a cap in that chick, you lose your first wife and you lost your booty call, and now your kids do not have a mother. Because, let me tell you, if you insult the honor of your woman, when she calls up her friends and say, yo, we got to go drive over to this chick's house. I know where she lives. Let's give her a little phone call, as they say. Let's do the little ringing of that doorbell. And your little nasty, no strings in the cow wife answers the door and thinks she can get all hoochie mama ghetto and that your wife's just going to take it. You don't understand woman's rage. Okay, you know how good it feels to pound the cheese out of somebody who has stolen your man, who has degraded your man, who has shared your man's body, and without your consent of knowing it's going on. It is a huge thing, okay? And the hatred that your wife is going to have is going to unload upon this woman, and your own children are going to know what you did for the most lowliest of women. Okay? Be careful, ladies. You want to be a no-strings nikah woman? And you think that there's not going to be a wife come handle business? I'd say you're a loony bird. If a guy is telling you to be a no-strings wife, and he's not warning you of the severe violent consequences that can come from messing with the wrong dude, he's leading you into a trap. He's leading you into jail. He's literally leading you to the grave. I can only speak for myself, but I do know a lot of women. Let me tell you something. They're going to take out that little bit of slish slash all over your face so that you're never beautiful again. The things women will do to regain their honor is by committing violence against the one that they lost the honor because of. I hope you recognize that. The only way to regain your honor, sometimes women think, from a woman who ruined it, is to ruin that woman. To where no one will want her because you've disfigured everything. Be very careful. Not every woman's going to be a doormat saying, my husband did this, he can do his... No. Not everyone is a lost lamb following their abusive red pill lover around. No. Be very cautious. Be very cautious. And then your no strings wife's family will be so upset that your wife disfigured their family member. Now you got a whole whirlwind of revenge, vengeance, and all that in your life. And why? Because a dude played the matcher to say, get with these low-class women. Get with these troublemaker women. Turned you away from righteous women who bring peace and civility, and brought you to an OnlyFans, escort, streetwalker vibe of a Muslimah. And we all know no real Muslimah who fears Allah would talk this way, act this way, or agree to this. So basically what you have is prostitutes, ghetto hoochie mamas, dressing up in the niqab and the hijab as a fetish for their customers. It's basically a pimp operation. It's a catfishing operation too, I bet. Further, if she calls herself a halal side chick, what has she done? In Islam, you have a wife, you have your right hand possesses your concubines, but you have your wives. A side chick has no honor. In the gang culture, in the cartel culture, in the mafia culture, you have side chicks who are really nothing besides goodbye, wham bam, thank you ma'am, sayonara. Ain't no dignity attached to being a side chick. Side chicks have a hard time, once the reputation has preceded them, to get good husbands. Okay? No quality woman calls herself a side chick. She demands to be a wife with full rights, and you respect her, you honor her, and you build together, and she respects your other wives, respects all your children, wants to see you become a more righteous man, closer to Allah, more God-fearing, stronger, healthier, faster, you name it. You cannot say, that's like saying halal beer. It doesn't work. Halal prostitution doesn't work. Halal cocaine, halal meth. Just because you put the word halal in front of something doesn't make it so. And people criticize second, third, fourth wives and degrade them because of this word side chick. So this woman, she's not interested in bringing honor to the Muslim Ummah. She's not interested in bringing honor to polygamy, because she's using the language of side chick, which degrades and is a kafir notion. She's using un-Islamic phrasing to describe her mindset and her value. This is what you have to watch out for. If a man is pointing you to a woman who says, I'll be your side chick, is that man calling to you in a good way or a bad way? Does Allah say you can have a side chick? It says you have to have a wife. Okay, and what your right hand possesses. A woman who has no strings on her and is a strange woman who wants to be objectified, degraded, abused. This is something totally outside the realm of haya, totally outside the realm of common decency. Huge red flag. And if a man who promotes this to you criticizes OnlyFans, criticizes girls who expose their body, criticizes girls who are divorced, who are single moms, who were not virgins when they were married, if he goes around criticizing all those women, but then says, hey, you know what I got? I got a chick who wants to be your halal side chick. She wants to be objectified, bro. Go with her. Is that someone you can trust? That's someone who's being a hypocrite. As we know, hypocrites go to the deepest places of hell. No, a man who calls you to a woman who wants to be a halal side chick is running a scam. Okay, Andrew Tate had his, he would write chats himself to his cam girls businesses. And he got plenty of money from people who were suckers. He did cam business for at least 10 years. And he had 75 girls. Some of them were his girlfriends. And he talked about in his online classes how he would make them love him, and then he would pimp them. Okay? And sometimes the girls would do it, and sometimes he would chat to men. So another man sending sexual messages to another man. And some of the young men have said that they get hired as milkers and that they also help these women run their OnlyFans. This is a very popular thing. In these websites that say no string marriages, you could be dealing with a man, a non-Muslim woman who is getting off on degrading Muslim women. Okay? It could be a CIA operation. It could be a infiltration movement to make Muslim women fetishized for the porn industry. When you see a Muslim woman, common Americans think super moral, super clean, super classy. If you start making a website that's pornographic, where women are degraded, which is already a problem, now you've turned the niqab and the hijab into a sex object instead of a religious symbolic element to it. Any man who helps the hijab and the niqab become a sexual image is serving the devil. Okay? Any woman who wears the Islamic clothing and speaks like a Luciferian, speaks like a witch, speaks like a sorceress of lust, is serving the dark arts. She's not worshiping Allah. So any website that degrades Muslim women for the sake of lust fantasies and money is not serving Allah or the benefit of the Ummah or for the stability of families, but rather lining their own pockets and helping the devil to lead more people astray. Watch out. It's very dangerous. You need to be careful. Do not listen to a woman who tells you to abuse, slap, degrade, and objectify her. She doesn't care about your first wife. She wants to be a side chick. These are very dangerous red flags. And you deserve better. Get a proper wife who you can introduce to people, who has class, who is moral, who has something to offer to the table besides her booty. Come on, man. Get some good role models. Get away from these red pill guys. They're running scams on you. They're the biggest hustlers you ever seen. And you gotta be careful. Some of them could be sorcerers. Some of them could be occultists. Some of them could be CIA infiltrators who want to degrade the image of the Muslim woman. The image of the Muslim woman is the last image of chastity. The occultists already went after the nuns and the pilgrimish Mormon women. They already degraded them. Now they're going to come for Islam. Now it's going to become a fetish. Anyone who helps turn a Muslim woman into a fetish by her religious garbs is serving the devil. Not serving anyone except their own wallets. If you sell out your religion so you can get subscribers and members and attention and court negative attention at all costs so you can get more clout, so you can get more views, and do the Andrew Tate strategy of provocateuring, you don't fear God, you're dangerous, you should be avoided, and your intentions are not pure. Watch out.